Today begins 4 hikes in the River Mountains, and we are at the Railroad Pass Hotel parking area on Highway 11, south of Las Vegas, toward Hoover Dam. And you're looking here at Scorpion Peak. In this direction is the River Mountains. And guess who is back to God's country from traveling in Utah and all over the place? It's Jean-Luc.
Oh, thank you very much, David. It's very nice to meet you again in this fall of 2025 and to start a new season of hikes. So I propose to you to do, just like you said, 4 hikes in the River Mountain. Today is the part 1 on 4, and we will do, after climbing 3 different peaks in this direction over there, we will have a look at the arch on the back of the Cascata Golf Course, which is on the Boulder City side. And today the goal is from the trailhead here, cross the railroad track, cut the slope and enter the canyon on the very left here, passing underneath the electric poles, and find a way to reach the ridge over there to hit finally the first summit, go down on the back of the first summit to climb a second summit, then on the back of it go down again to climb the third summit, to go down again, and finally reach the line that will bring us to the arch. We will explore a little bit over there, and then from the arch we will go down on the canyon beneath the arch to link the trail that turns around this part of the River Mountain. I propose to you, once we will be over there, to have an overlook at everywhere, to locate, to try to see where will be the next hike. But I have an extra bonus to this series of 4, and this is the Scorpion Peak, and the Scorpion Peak will be right here, and it will be, it's technically not in the River Mountains, but because it's in the same area, we will try it. So as you can see, there is 2 main higher peaks in this mountain chain. The one on the right is the Scorpion Peak, and the one on the left, I tried to do it, but it was so scary that I had to stop, because it's vertical cliff, it needs some climbing accessories. I tried to do by the canyon on the back side of it, but it's completely insane to try to do that without equipment. So let's start this adventure.
Awesome.
Very happy to be under the sun and the blue sky again.
And I believe these are the Railroad Mountains.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, let's get going. Let's find that arch. And by the way, if you're wanting to park in order to start at I don't know that there's a trail here. It's more wilderness, but if you want to park, this is the spot. You don't have to park down by the gas station.
Yeah. And by the way, you could reach the arch by reaching the trail that are on the back of the railroad just over there, and then you will find it easily. And this trail goes along the slopes till a canyon on the back of this mountain, then enter the canyon to turn immediately on the right after entering this canyon, and this trail will bring you on the bottom of the canyon where is located the arch. So it's an easy way and very beautiful way to go there, especially in winter, because you will face the winter sun and you always will be facing the sun, so it could be a little bit cold on the heart of the winter here, but a nice way to do it. But we like the hard way, so we will go there 3 mountains, then the arch.
Okay, and maybe we'll give you some pictures of the easy way.
Yeah, but it will be our way back here.
Oh, good. So
Okay.
we're going to take the easy way back.
Yeah.
Awesome. From the parking area, we start on a nice asphalt trail. As we head for the ridge line we're about to ascend. Well, the asphalt trail didn't last long for us. We're departing right at this point and heading up toward the ridge line. We just crossed the railroad tracks, and now Jean-Luc is going to describe our route up to that ridge line you see above us.
Yeah, the goal is to find an easy way to reach the ridge as easier as possible. So I suggest to go here, goes on the foothills of these outcrop, then turn on the back of the canyon and find a way to reach the ridge on the other side. Then finally the long ridge to reach the first summit. But if you like to be out of trail, you could choose any direction you like. This is the one I choose because it's graduate. Otherwise you will have a different inclination to go through, and I prefer something more rhythmic with the same rate of slope to save my my energy and to train the body to something. It's gonna be a not that long, but a pretty rough hike with a lot of going up and down, up and down, up and down, and then come back all along the trail to finally come back on the corner here of these mountains.
Okay, and is there any wildlife that we're possibly going to see?
So here it looks nothing, but it's a huge refuge for the bighorn sheep, and so be aware that all along these ridges you will see a lot of resting places, and the people cross the I-11 without even thinking that they are observed by some creature over there. So if we are lucky enough, we will see some of these guys today.
All right, let's go. There's actually a little pathway up here, pretty nice, except as soon as I told Jean-Luc that there was a pathway, he said, we're going to leave it soon. So, okay, onward. As you see, we are ascending this gully below, and our goal, at least along the way, is to reach that high point. So basically find your best route. I think it might be right into the sun here. Find your best route up to that high point, then we'll show you what's next. Well, that was a steep, slick little ascent to get up to this point, and what we need to do is stay on the right side of this ravine that you see as we continue angling our way upward into the sun along the top of the ridge and over to that high point. And then just to give you an idea how much we've ascended in such a short time, there is Las Vegas in the Strip. And down here is the Railroad Pass Casino, where we started. Scorpion Mountain. And of course, Highway 11 below us. So let's continue upward. Just came up this stretch, another loose rock stretch, but wow, there are stairs if you can find them. Just watch every foot placement along the way. And we're continuing on upward now. You can see Jean-Luc is crossing this ridge about mid-ridge. So again, our goal along the way is this high point. Here's our next stretch, and we got here by circling around the mid area on this ridge line, and there actually is a little pathway, but yeah, it sometimes disappears, and the rocks, you just want to make sure whatever you step on is very secure. There are some good secure footholds that are like stairs, but then you want to make sure you're not on one that's going to give way. Okay, this is our next high point right above. We're going to go up to the top of that, and then Jean-Luc is going to explain what happens after that.
So you have to choose a way between on the right or on the left of these rocky outcrop in the middle of this road. Depend on where your steps will bring you. The summit is a little bit further. This one is the fourth summit. Then we will go down on the canyon to a saddle between the mountain on the right, on the back over there. We will climb this one. We will go down on the other side, climb another one, and then we will be on the arch. But before that, we have to do that. View from the highway, these mountains looks short, but they are pretty steep, and you have to manage your strength. And but this is the case of many river mountain places. You will see along the series of 4 that they all have this same profile, even if you see it from the bottom thinking, oh, it looks easy. It's not that easy, and I love it. Try to find always a wildlife path. We call it the Big Ship Highway.
The Bighorn Highway.
Bighorn Highway.
And what are we looking at down this way? Is this part of Boulder City?
Yes, and this is the golf course, and down on the right of the golf course where there is these green prairies, you have the airport, which is the starting point for Grand Canyon visit by plane or helicopter. And the Lake Mead is just on the back of this mountain, at the end of the river mountains. By the way, there is no river in the river mountain. It's noticeable. And so the Lake Mead is over there, and the Grand Canyon is probably finished. The Grand Canyon finished probably 30-40 miles away from here, where it enters the Lake Mead. So Boulder City's airport is the main base to the Grand Canyon visit.
Okay.
On the other side, I invite you to turn around with me, and on the other side you have Las Vegas. So this is a nice nice place to have these different views. On the very far there is the Red Rock Canyon too. And then is the first false summit, and you could see how steep it is and from where we come from, but there is no major difficulties except watching your step on these chaotic rocks. Otherwise it's not that difficult. The higher we are, the farthest we are from the civilization. It's amazing, this feeling.
here we are, the first summit of this today's hike. At the back of it there is a saddle to reach, and then we'll start the easy slope until the second summit. By the way, if from here you decide to go down this canyon, there's a trail on the bottom, and you will reach the trail that follows the foothills of the river mountains. And we could see here on the bottom the trail that we will use to come back to the car. The car is there down below. Boulder City Plain, Lake Mead this way that we can see. The mountains on the background are already in Arizona, and here the short ridge where usually there's a lot of bighorns, but not today. And by the way, I collect trash all the way. It's sad that someone spent a lot of energy to bring this bottle full of liquid here and trash it when reaching the summit. I will bring it back with me. Las Vegas Valley and Anderson on the first front line.
Here we are on the first great height, and you can see some cairns along the ridge top. A lot of rock material if you want to build a cairn here. And there you have Las Vegas. The Railroad Mountains, Scorpion Peak. And then down where we started, Railroad Pass Casino, Highway 11, solar farms on the road towards Searchlight, and then you can see Highway 11 continuing. You see where there's a split. The one closer to us is Highway 93 toward Boulder City, and the furthest one is Highway 11 toward Hoover Dam. Wow, this is just amazing. And I think, I'm not sure, but I believe we've got Lava Butte in the distance, that volcanic cone. And then almost directly behind and above is Mount Wilson in Arizona. That gives you an idea, the bigger picture of where we are. Now continuing upward and then over to our next high point. I hope there's a bridge, but I have a feeling there's not. And actually, now that I'm up here, can look over the edge between this and the next high point. There is a kind of low bridge, a lot of descent and reascent, but at least there is a bridge, and it doesn't mean crossing a vertical canyon. And now Jean-Luc is going to explain the Scorpion Peak route that we're going to take. So go ahead.
Yeah, because we will do that in the future, and because we have a very good view of the whole hike from here. Starting from the nurse school here, we will go up in the wash, in a canyon that's narrow until a saddle underneath the underneath the Scorpion Peak. Then we will climb the slope, do the first summit, and then reaching finally the Scorpion Peak. And from the Scorpion Peak we will come back to the saddle by the same route, and then climb the mountain that are facing us on the higher summit there, and then follow all of the ridges until finding a canyon that will bring us in the future to the parking lot back to the car. So we take the occasion to see that from here.
All right. So there's the Scorpion Peak route, and we'll see it up close in a week or so. Yeah. And we begin by descending toward the saddle below, and there's actually a little pathway that we're following, so it doesn't look too difficult to get down there. And then yeah, look at the side of the mountain there. All kinds of crisscrossing animal trails, bighorn sheep. But we're headed up to this next height.
I am just a few steps underneath the back of the first summit, and everything's changed completely. No more noise, wild nature, and no traffic. No more cities, big cities. We are just into the wild right now. It's amazing the contrast in a few steps. Love it.
Now we're on the saddle. This is where we're headed. The next height. Looking toward the Searchlight Road. This is where we came from. And then looking straight at Frenchman Mountain, and guess what? To the right is Lava Butte. So that other butte that we saw just a moment ago was not Lava Butte. And upward.
So now I am at the saddle on the back of the first summit. David is still going down, and facing me the second summit. So I will follow this outcrop that slightly turns to the right, then I reach the second summit very fast. It won't be long. Once again, this beautiful canyon that you could go down or go up, following the trail that follows the foothills of the river mountains, but when you enter the canyon you could find a trail that will bring you here very easily, in place to have to climb these a series of mountains, but just like we said in the beginning, we choose the hard way rather than the easy way. So depend of your skills and shapes, choose your way. We are mid-November, and I already saw 2 lizards. It means that it's not that cold. They don't hibernate yet. And between the mountains over there, the Las Vegas Valley.
Okay, we're standing on the next height. There you can see the saddle below and that first height that we reached. And actually this slope upward was very good. A lot of secure footholds. And there you can see Las Vegas. And then here's the next height. And then the arch is down in this direction. You can't see it, but you will. It's just below that height, that third height. And then looking down over this direction, this is the Cascata Golf Course. And here are the two highways, Highway 93 and Highway 11. And then a connector road between. And over this direction, solar farms on 93 on the way to Searchlight. Over in this direction, just to the left of Highway 93, is the El Dorado Wilderness, which we've been in earlier. Beautiful wilderness area. And then back to our starting points below at Highway 11. Can't see the casino anymore. And there is Scorpion Peak. And when we go to Scorpion Peak, we will be starting at the nursing school. The peak was named by the nurses from the school. Went through all the official peak naming channels to officially name that peak. And you can see then our route up to Scorpion Peak. You can see part of it. Part of it's hidden in a canyon between that first hill and Scorpion Peak. And there you have it. Okay, Jean-Luc has a story he wants to tell.
Yeah, from the top of this second mountain, we have a clear view on both sides, the Boulder City Valley and the Las Vegas Valley. But there is some interesting fact here to see. On the right of the Scorpion Peak, we have the old volcanic chain of the Black Mountain, with the higher peak named Black Mountain Peak, or Mountain, I don't remember exactly. You could see there is antennas on the right. Then there is a dome, magma dome, that makes a kind of castle tower, which is a great hike, by the way. Pretty dangerous to climb if you do it by the other side, but it's an amazing place, very wild, very rough, and volcanic rocks everywhere. So following the ridges, the Black Mountains continue, and you could see how the volcanoes pops up from place to places. And many of you living in Vegas knows the Lava Butte. I will show you that in a minute. But it formed a line where a hot point beneath the Earth's surface point at the same place, but the crust was moving. It makes that there is some volcanic cone all along the line. But there is a very interesting thing to know. I will point at it right now. On the back of Anderson, you can see the last mountain, the Black Mountain, with antennas on the top. And back in the mid-80s happened something very bad here. The technician and the antennas
was a video amateur, and he brings with him his camera, and he was filming the empty valley where actually lie Anderson, and this guy was filming the valley when suddenly he saw some smoke on the rocket fuel plant that was the only building in the middle of the valley. And so after a while there were a first explosion, a huge one, followed by a second one much bigger than the first one. And if you type Anderson explosion on YouTube, you will see the video that was filmed by this guy with the whole story in details, but also you will see how empty was this whole part of the valley, the Las Vegas Valley, that was completely empty. There were only the rocket fuel plant, and it's amazing to think that in 40 years this whole place, it's huge, and now it's packed with houses and communities and companies everywhere. But back in the 80s, it was completely empty. So very interesting to, I invite you to see this video about the Anderson explosion, Nevada. Pretty interesting to see and to compare with the landscape today. You could see how humans occupy the space and how it pushes the limit of the cities in 40 years. On the background, the whole line of the strip line, starting from the south to the north with the Fremont Street part of the strip in Las Vegas. Interesting to see. Also on the back of the antennas, all of the peak of the Red Rock Canyon that I love so much.
And the Mount Charleston Wilderness.
Absolutely.
And by the way, we are almost directly between Mount Wilson in Red Rock Canyon. Very faint, but it's right there. And if I turn the other direction, you're going to see Mount Wilson in Arizona. So the two Mount Wilsons. Here is Mount Wilson, Arizona, that high point. And you can see Adventures on Las Vegas Area Trails where we summited both Mount Wilsons.
So we could see on the top of one of the mountains the antennas. But it will be the starting point and the trailhead of one of the hikes that we will do in the River Mountains that will bring us all along the ridge to the higher summit of the River Mountain that we could see right here on the left. It's a double headed mountain, and this higher peak is just on the left of the electric line that you could see. Once you're on the Lake Mead side, you could see a huge power line going through the mountains on the pass, and that the line goes down to the cities right here. So just to give you an idea of the place. And another thing is another hike that we will do, and this is this very steep and lone rock that makes a kind of outcrop just on the left of the antenna. And this is the higher peak of the western side of the River Mountain. We will do that as a special dedicated hike concerning the River Mountains.
All right, a lot to explore.
Yeah. This is the Cascata Golf Course and Boulder City and the arch. I could see it, but because it's facing me, there is no crossing light on it, so can't distinguish it, but I am close to the second summit. Okay, as you can see, the third summit is not that far. We will find a way to go down on the other side. Once again, the Cascata Golf Course, and the trail here and here that will be back on it when we finish to visit this area. So the next hikes on the river mountains will be on the other side, all of them starting from Boulder City. We could see the antennas here. On the back of it there is a parking lot that we will use for one of the trail that will bring us all along the ridge that makes a turn when they touch Lake Mead, so it will be a panoramic hike. Once again, beautiful place. So close and so far away from civilization. And David reaching the second summit. So I was expecting to see the bighorn sheep up here in the mountains, but they decide apparently to prefer the green grass and tender grass of the Cascata Golf Course, and I could see 10 of them down below. So they have their breakfast right now. There is no chance for us today to see some, except if we are a little bit lucky. But I don't know, we will see. So still close to the third summit, still amazing, beautiful here. Okay, we are at the slightly a little bit further than the third summit. The second is there and the first one is over there, the Cascata Golf Course. The trail that we will use to come back this way, and right here on the very bottom of the rocky outcrop there is the arch, but we can't see here because the light go through the arch in this way. So we will discover it once we will be there. That's why not a lot of people can see it from here, but if you drive the Route 93 here, if you pay attention to it on the back of the Cascata course, you could see briefly the arch from the highway. So just like I said, the river mountains make a U shape coming this way, and on the other side. In the middle there is a huge wash that acts just like a huge basin, and that's why right here there is a huge dam that collects all of the waters to protect the Anderson side. We could hear the tourist train, and David is just facing Las Vegas and Anderson. David, what do you think about this hike?
I think that it is beautiful. It's the amazing thing is that it's like we're 100 miles away from civilization up here.
Yeah, the contrast is very sensitive, huh?
Yes.
And the wilderness contrasts completely with the civilization, the roaming civilization down below. And now I really appreciate this contrast, and it's surprisingly beautiful and difficult to be here.
Yeah, I'm surprised how things that look difficult, like what's below down there,
yeah,
when you get closer, you can see a way.
Yeah.
But you just got to really pick it out carefully and watch every step.
Yeah.
But there is a way.
Okay, so now we will go down this way. We just passed the summit of the third summit, and you could see the saddle down below. So we will find a way going down this way. There is the most trickier passage just a little bit down below, but it's not that bad. There's nothing impossible. Just pay attention where you put your steps, and then we will follow the ridge to reach the bottom of the arch that once again we can't really see from here. So but from here we could see that there is a hole on the bottom of the cliff, and there is a little passage on the right of it with a kind of balcony that will bring you directly underneath the arch. Otherwise you turn left and you will be underneath the arch. So we will see that very soon. So we are actually descending the slope, very steep, to the last saddle, then the last slope to the arch that are right here. We can't see it, but when we will come back we will go down this tiny canyon, narrow canyon, and then we will reach the trail that will bring us back to the railroad past Casino, turning on the foothills of the mountain all around. So this trail is something beautiful, and once again the contrast between the Cascata Golf Course green grass. I could see the bighorn sheep grazing over there, and the rhyolite rocks completely roasted and burned when this huge volcanic dome was forming is something interesting to see.
Well, this is a delightful little slope going down to this next saddle below, and then we go up the next ridge line over to the arch. But wow, there is a pathway. Just step on the solid rock wherever you can, because the loose rock is very loose. So down we go. You can see Jean-Luc below. So here we go. Dive.
So halfway till the saddle, I'm basically out of steep slopes. There's a lot of bighorn sheep resting area all along this descent, and I am facing the saddle, then the last ridge to go finally and discover the arch. Okay, this last saddle before the final slope will be the starting point right here of the final descent to reach the trail to come back. If you like a longer hike, you could go this way too, turning all around the place. You could see David underneath the outcrop, the rocky outcrop over there. He's a little bit in trouble with his knee, that's why he takes care of being safe when going down, and I respect that. And by the way, there's some hidden gems everywhere. Cactus, look at this one. It looks desertic, but there is plenty to see all around. Okay, I will wait here for a while and then we finally do the last slope to the arch.
We descended from that height we were on a moment ago, descended down a very steep loose rock slope, a lot of animal switchbacks I think that saved us, and now we're on a saddle, and on one side is Henderson, Frenchman Mountain, and Gas Peak area. Here is the next ascent. Now we're ascending toward the arch and looking down this way, down to the golf course below, and you can see the solar farms beyond. And I-11. Okay, let's go on up to the arch.
This is the third mountain slopes that we descend, and then I am just in front of the arch. I am 50 yards away and I still can't see it, but it's just in front of me, right here.
It's on this side of the hill.
Yeah, that's just on the bottom of the outcrop, and still don't want to be seen. Okay, so just a quick note here. If you turn around and climb this mountain, or there's another a way to goes on the left, you could reach the ridges over there, but on the other side it's vertical cliff. It's uneasy to
That's a one-way
continue to continue on the other side. So yeah, you have to turn around the bottom of the vertical cliff if you want to continue further. But I mean, we already did 3 mountains, and we are at the goal that we can still don't see right now. It's amazing. So let's go to the arch.
Okay, I'm ready.
It's just in front of me.
Oh, I see it.
Now I decided to reach it by the left of it, and after that we will do it on the right side. But just look at that, I am 10 feet away from the arch, and now, only now, it reveals itself. Look at this hidden beauty. I will stay for a moment in the refreshing shadow. I love so much this one. And
Oh yeah. And here is that mysterious arch. Couldn't see it till you're right under it. Very beautiful arch. And it's not too very far from the saddle below. So it's just a matter of crossing the saddle, coming up to this point, and here we are at the arch. For perspective, here's Jean-Luc in the arch. And he's trying to tell me the sky is bluer on the other side of the arch. I don't know. It's like the grass is greener on the other side. And here we are in the arch. A lot bigger when you're up close. It's probably, I'd say, at least 20 feet, maybe a little more vertically. And here we are looking down at Jean-Luc and the golf course. This is Jean-Luc's country club down there.
Yeah,
He and the bighorn sheep.
I confirm.
That is pretty cool. Looking up right along the side to the summit of the arch. Perfect B on each side.
I'm now on the right side of the arch. David is supposedly on the other side. I confirm to you, David, that the sky is bluer this way. Okay, to give you an idea of the scale of the arch, David is posing for his fan club.
Actually, I'm holding the arch up. If I let go, this whole arch will collapse.
No, stay there because it will collapse otherwise.
That's right.
Okay, so I will go down and you stay there.
Okay.
Okay, I will come back tomorrow to bring you some water and food.
That sounds good.
Okay, beautiful scenery and something that finalized very well this hike. Now we will go down the canyon, reaching the trail, following the trail all along and around the mountains to come back to the car. But I have to say that even this trail is beautiful. The scenery vary all along, and I love it. I love it. Las Vegas Henderson over there, still the arch back.
Okay, this is the look back at the saddle below the arch that we could not see until we actually got under the arch because it was just positioned in that way. Now from the saddle, we're heading down this gully and you see a trail below. That is our goal. Reach the trail, circle around that pointy hill and back to our starting point. All right, what a beautiful experience. And there's the hill that we descended to get to this place. Very steep and windy and loose. And here's a shot of Henderson from the arch. And here's the arch from the opposite side.
You could clearly see the real volcanic nature of this place, and nature play a little bit and create some features all around the place. And so if you don't know the existence of these arches, it could be easily missed, because you can't see it when you come down the mountain or somewhere else. You have an idea when you're on the trail, that's why most of the people know it, but when you come from the mountain it's impossible to see it. So a nice surprise at the very end of this adventure today. Before descending, just have the canyon to descend, then once on the trail it will be piece of cake to come back to the car. Pretty long, probably 2 miles, but circling around the mountain, the panorama will change all along. It will be great. And once again, the contrast between the green grass of the Cascata golf course, where I could see again, I don't have a zoom on my camera, but I could see the bighorn sheep grazing over there, probably 3 and 6, 9, probably 10 of them. Try to have a picture of it.
One final look back at the arch from below. And Jean-Luc discovered this arch from his wanderings. He didn't read anything about an arch, he didn't follow any directions, but he was just wandering around all these hills and came on the arch. So that's how we know it's here. Look at these formations. Volcanic, oozing up from underneath. This whole area is volcanic. And you hear the music, maybe faintly in the video, but there's quite a bit of music coming from the golf course below. Party time.
So the arch is just on the back of this rocky outcrop. We started the descent. I am halfway. It's plenty of loose rock. You have to pay attention, but where you put your foot. But the trail is not that far, and soon it will be easy to go back to the car. What a nice hike! Completely out of nowhere, with a close look to the civilization. It's amazing.
And now it's just a matter of connecting with that trail Jean-Luc is on and take us around the mountain, the pointy hill that we saw from above, and then back to the railroad casino parking area.
And here I am back on the River Mountain Loop Trail. And finally the view that we won't be able to have when we were descending this mountain. But view from here, it's beautiful. Clear blue sky, amazing picture. Yeah, definitively worth the trip to come here.
And one last look around. Just look at this volcanic landscape. This would have been wilder than Yellowstone Park when it was alive. And now it's all dormant. But you can imagine what it might have been like when all these formations were molten lava. Looking back at the landscape, arch, this light colored rock or soil is the original rock before the volcano erupted or volcanoes. Another thing that I want to point out is you look at the lawn there, and on the left there is a flock of bighorn sheep. They're looking up at us and laughing as they enjoy their lunch and saying, "What are you doing up in those mountains? The food's down here." And a close-up of the lava here. Looks like frozen toothpaste that oozed from the ground. And it's unending, all the way from Frenchman Mountain over to the El Dorado Wilderness. It's a huge lava field, or volcanic field. Bighorn sheep below.
We could see here the original ground recovered by this huge magmatic dome that once came close to the surface, and with huge degazing pressure from below trying to reach the surface. This is why there is all of these cavities in this mountain, and the dissolved gas in the magma, when the pressure released, because the magma tried to go too fast to the surface, it released the pressure and it makes huge bubbles of gas that try to reach the surface, creating in this very soft rock the cavities that we could see here. And the arch is also the result of such rays of the inner core of the planet. So it's good to remind to everybody that this was beneath the surface, and erosion removed all of the rocks over the magmatic chamber. So today what we see is a direct look at what was below the surface. So the trail continued this way on the side of this mountain. It's 12:43. The November sun is low on the horizon already, and it will be, but it's still hot. Need a hat on my head. Yeah, beautiful place. It will be piece of cake hike to come back to the car all along this beautiful place.
And here's an interpretive display on the Railroad Pass Casino. You can pause it, read the message here, and then another display over here on the River Mountains Loop Trail. And we're back at the Railroad Pass Casino. What an adventure!